Well, it's John with Go Mobile. I know it's getting a little later in the afternoon, but I kind of did that on purpose. It's been a little bit warm lately, and I got to go out and pull the front of a tractor apart in a grassy field, so didn't really want to do it when it was super hot out. So we're going to go out and pull it apart right now and get her taken care of and try to get that seal replaced. So as you can see from right here, we do have a little bit of leaking coming down from right up in here. Right there, the hub is leaking a little bit right there where the seal's at. It's a little John Deere 4120. We can see what we can do tonight. Might have to come back, finish it up tomorrow. Oh, it's really leaking good on this side though. Obviously we'll have to break the steering loose. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a process, but we'll get her. At least get it apart tonight so we have something to go by. Now, when you're doing a job like this, a set of good heavy-duty jack stands, it's definitely key. Now, yes, we could have used the front forks and the front of the machine to support it, but I like to go ahead and do that just to give it a little extra additional strength. Just to the fact there's a little bit of weight, because you're going to put yourself in some points there, and you don't want it to be detrimental to your health. So I'm going to go ahead and get this big heavy wheel off, which don't let anyone lie to you, these wheels are heavy. But I'm going to go ahead and get that pulled off. And once I get that pulled off, I'll go ahead and pull my cotter pins down here and bust those free, which they never want to come off the way you want them to, but we're going to try to be wishful thinking right now. We're definitely going to try to be wishful thinking, which it's leaking really, really good. And they get rocks. And let's see if you guys can see that. They get rocks and sand up inside of them. And it works on that seal, takes them out. Well, as you can see, things are just now starting to get real. I had to break this out. Oh yeah. That's a tool. Because I gotta bust those off right there. And there's no room for an impact. And sometimes you just have to put a little heat on it. Because the purple Loctite they use, that's some pretty good stuff. And there's no reason to keep fighting it, so. Well, I apologize about the lighting, but it's about 9 o'clock at night. And, well, I'm kind of calling defeat. I got it apart, but I got down into this point right here. And this happens sometimes. Doing the job, and then all of a sudden, now agree, there's going to be a lot of John Deere techs to say, well, why did you remove that completely off the tractor? Well, 2 reasons. One, I don't like to work directly underneath something suspended, especially to the fact this is filled with oil. And even if you drain the oil, you're still going to catch some of it. And I don't want to work in the dirt. I'd rather do something where I'm going to be playing with gears, somewhere clean and respectful. Preferably the back of the service truck is better than in the dirt. On that notion, I was able to get this gear out right here. I was able to get this washer out right here. And this shim right here, and that spacer right there. But I didn't bring a good enough pair of snap ring pliers to pull that out of there. Now it happens, I'm not gonna lie to you, it happens quite often where you get something tore apart and you don't have all this stuff to do it. So I gotta get that pulled off there. And once I pull that off there, when doing these hubs, and this is the first time you guys are seeing it during the day, there is a bearing up in here. Once you get this collar off right up in here, you will use a contraption like this. Now, you're probably looking at it going, yeah, that is homemade. Yes, it has been modified. But guess where that bolt came from? Yes, that bolt was part of the original design for the puller to pull that bearing out. Now once you get that bearing out, you can get in there with this special collaring tool and back that nut off, because that's all got to be set at preloaded pressure. So once we get that off, then we can slide the head off and then put some seals in her and start going back together with it. It is a little bit of a process, but can be done. Okay, I apologize, but I just got one hand. Okay, so what you got is this right here screws right up in there. Before you can unscrew it, can you guys see? There's a lock ring in there like what you see in an axle of a truck. See that right in there? Now this screws up in there tight. Then you take a punch or a pick, I usually use, after you put this up in there, and you take that pick and you push it up inside these ears right there, right up in there. Then once you get that pushed up in there, you can remove this. Now I always have a pair of these trusty modified old junk pliers I keep around. They're needle nose for doing things like this. See, there we go. That's out of there. And that sits kind of just like that up in there. And as you can see, you actually see the fingers I bent over. But those will press up inside there. Now that's all pushed off. That's all pushed off. Now we are ready to grab it. Let me go ahead. And we'll go ahead and remove this collar here, this head. It should just slide right out, just like that. See, just like on a semi truck. Can you see it? Just like that. And that's what you get. Now right up in here, the seal rides right up in here. It gets debris and gets dirt up in here, so you want to make sure you get this really clean. This is a crush collar.
Boy, this looks like fun.
Oh yeah.
How are you, John?
I'm doing.
Good.
Sorry I didn't make it over the other day.
You're fine, John. You're fine. That mower didn't run off.
Did you ever figure out what was happening with it?
No, but I tell you what, I've spent about a week and a half of it. I tried to put a,
Has this got electronic ignition on it?
yes it does.
Okay.
Electronic.
Yeah, exactly. That was the motor.